hate hearing about human rights. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mussarat Yusuf Ali and I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a therapist. Now you might be thinking, why do you not like human rights? What? Are you crazy? Well, I will explain to you why I hate the discussion of human rights and what I propose instead. For a moment, I want you to think about our world as it is right now. If you are even aware of a little bit of what's happening in the world, you will see there's so much oppression happening everywhere. In all corners of the earth and world, there's so much oppression happening. Even sometimes at a small family level, there is oppression happening. This week, there's been so much bad news that I've been hearing. And so at the same time, we have United Nations and we have these governments where they have documents and documents of human rights, child's rights, animal rights, all kinds of rights. So there are so many laws and so many regulations about rights of people and of vulnerable people, yet the world is filled with so much oppression. So what is wrong? Why is that happening? If we have all these laws and this wisdom that has been in this world about all the rights that we all have, yet why are we failing at this? Now, personally, as a Muslim, when I think about my religion, and this is my take on it, I'm no scholar and I'm no, knowledgeable alim or alima or anything like that. This is my take on my religion. When I look at Islam and I look at the teachings of Islam, I don't necessarily hear a discussion about rights. Instead, what I hear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us within the Quran, within the Hadith, and within the actions of the prophets is I hear a different kind of language. What I hear is what we are responsible for. So when we look at the laws that are within Islam, and we look at what are the responsibilities that are there, we will look that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed responsibility on every different group that exists in the world. There's responsibility for the mother, there's responsibility for the child, there's responsibility for the father, there's responsibility for the husband, for the wife, there is responsibility for the leaders. And so I think one of the biggest problems that we have is that we are not teaching our children and we are not being people that think about what is our responsibility first. We are stuck on fighting for rights. And what does that do? What happens when we are just fighting for rights and thinking about our rights? I personally believe that nobody is showing up for their responsibility, their duty. Every one of us has a responsibility every single day of our life, every minute, every second of our life. And so if we wake up as individuals asking ourselves, every single one of us, what is my responsibility? What is my duty? What is my responsibility to God, to my family members, to the people around me, the people that are under me? Perhaps the politicians, if they were trained to think this way, then perhaps they would be thinking about the responsibility they have. Politicians have a huge responsibility. As leaders, their responsibility is to protect the vulnerable. It is to protect and bring peace and harmony in the world, in all the spaces of the world, not just theirs. And religious leaders, they have a big responsibility of guiding people into the religion, not what their rights are or what people's rights are. Same thing from a family standpoint, within a family. If we think about my responsibility, and again, if all of us are taking and having this kind of mindset and waking up every day with this idea of what is my responsibility in my family, in my community, in my environment, then we will be showing up differently and we will be creating a different world. So maybe as a wife and a mother, when I think about my responsibility instead of my rights of what I should have and what I want and what I deserve, I will think about what is my duty to my children, to my husband, and to the people around me. I will show up perhaps more nurturing because I will be reminding myself that, again, what's my duty? And I will be protecting, my spouse and things that are related to what I'm supposed to be protecting for them. When it comes to a husband, a man, if he is getting up in the morning and asking himself, what is my duty? What is my duty that I have not fulfilled to my family? Perhaps you already have work and that duty is already being fulfilled. Is there another duty that you are not fulfilling? Is it that you have a duty to lead and to teach your children? And so it's perhaps maybe not just the mom or the stay-at-home mom or the working mom, whoever it is, that has the responsibility of bringing the children into the religion and teaching them and educating them. It's everyone's responsibility. And same thing, if you are a grandmother, if you are an aunt, if you are whatever your role is in the world, and we have multiple roles. When we go to the community, I'm big on recycling, right? And that, for me, I absolutely love doing it. And it comes from this place where I have a responsibility to take care of this earth. And we all have a responsibility to take care of this earth and so many other responsibilities. And we all need to show up, do our duty, do what we need to be doing so that we are building a better, healthier family, a better, healthier community, and a better, healthier, and more peaceful world. So if you have agreed with me, even an iota of agreement, and if you find this way of rethinking helpful for you, and I ask you, try it out. Tomorrow, wake up in the morning and ask yourself, what's my responsibility? What is my duty to Allah? If that's what drives you, great. That is what should drive us at all times. If it's your children for the time being, because remember, even when we serve our children, we do it at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, first and foremost for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever it is that drives you, and we should inculcate within us that idea of always doing things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even the things that you hate and even the things that are hard for you to do. There are lots of things that are hard for me to do, and I am failing at them so many ways and so many times. And at the same time, I keep on trying because this is my responsibility. And I personally want to show up on the Day of Judgment and say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I really did try my best. I hope that I was trying my best. I was doing my best effort. And when I fall off the wagon or I get off track, I want to get up and say, oh gosh, done. Let's get back on track again. So if you find this reframe helpful, and if you try it out and it works for you in creating a better environment and a better space of energy for you, I would love it if you would share it with your friends and share it wide and long so that more people can benefit and we can create a harmonious, peaceful life. And as a mother, as a parent, I think that it is our responsibility to raise children who think this way as well, who aren't just fighting for their rights, and they're also, or rather, on this one I'll say, but they're also thinking about their responsibility on this earth. So there you go. This is why I hate human rights. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again here on another video. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.